Mike Owens here, today joined by
Hubbard.
who returns to action for the tough lightweight finale versus Holobaugh in Boston, Massachusetts, to UFC 292. Austin, a pleasure, my man. How are things for you today?
Good. Just getting the rest of the weight off, getting ready for the final weight cut, and super excited for Saturday night.
I presume, and I'm going to say presume because I'm not 100% sure, the Thursday is the worst day of fight week when you're doing weight cuts. What's the best?
There's not a best day. I guess actually the best day is Friday when it's over and you're done with the weight cut and you can eat and drink as much as you want. That's the best.
100%. Was it always confirmed to your mind that you were going to be fighting in Boston, Massachusetts? Because obviously the series has played out, still played out as recently as yesterday. Were you always confident that you would be on this card, or was there any
No.
uncertainty?
So we weren't really given a date afterwards. I originally assumed it would be like the 26th. I was thinking, and it'd probably be in Vegas or something. It wasn't until about maybe a month out that I found out it was the 19th and it was on this card. So yeah.
What do you make of your opponent, and also the fact that you've been able to watch him live on a couple of instances? What have given your overall scouting report of this finale matchup?
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun fight. Obviously, I know him well from the show. We trained together. We're on the same team. We all room together. I think he's a great dude. He's a talented. He looked really good in his semifinal fight. I do believe, and you could see that in his first fight, he kind of struggled with. He is a black belt himself, so he has that ability to catch you and finish you for sure, but I feel like my mobility and control on the ground would be a huge difference maker for him in a kind of bad matchup, wrestling versus, jiu-jitsu type of matchup. But overall, he's a great competitor. He's a great person, so it'll be a fun fight.
Difficult question to ask, but I'm going to ask it nonetheless. Would you consider yourselves friends with your opponent?
Yeah. I think everyone was really cool throughout the whole process of the Ultimate Fighter, and that made the process a little more enjoyable because it's very boring in there. And we did, I would say, consider him a friend, as well as most people in that house. Everyone was really cool.
You mentioned there about the boredom that comes with being on the Ultimate Fighter show. What's the best thing about the show, and maybe what's the worst thing about the show?
The best thing is this opportunity that I'm in right now. I made it to the finals. I'm right on the doorstep of winning this show and then getting back into the UFC, and so that's definitely the best thing. And then the worst, it was probably just being locked in that house for weeks on end, no contact with the outside world. There was no form of entertainment whatsoever, no music, no books, no internet. It was very boring, but it was worth it.
Is that difficult? Because we often hear fighters talk about they have sleepless nights. All they think about is their opponent on the weeks and months leading up to a fight. Obviously, there's more than one fight. There's multiple fights throughout the process. Is it a difficult process to go through, given the fact that you have mentioned there you're extremely bored, but you've also got the task at hand, and that those difficulties may play on your mind even further?
Yeah, it's a very different fight experience, than taking a fight and doing your training camp, getting ready. Even if a last minute fight, this is such a different experience. Getting ready for a fight and then fighting, and first you get locked in a house with cut off completely, and then you're training with all new coaches, all new people you've never met before, and then you go out there and you have to fight. I fought 2 times in a less than 2 week span, and it's just all of it is just so crazy, such a crazy experience.
We were talking a little bit off camera there about your teammate Neil Magny, who was originally going to be in your corner. I believe still is at the moment on Wednesday afternoon, which is just bizarre when he's going to fight a couple of hours later. Is it a positive having someone, a teammate, or in this instance a coach, being on the card, because you're sharing the burdens of weight cut, of fight week, of all of that?
Yeah, it's really cool. Neil and I are really good friends. He's been there for me through a lot of hard, difficult times, and I like to think I've been there for him through difficult times as well. I was living with him out in Colorado, getting ready for this fight and doing my training camp. So we have a great bond. So having him in the corner is awesome because we have that great bond. We train a lot together, and now that he gets to fight on the card, that's really cool too because now we get to fight alongside each other and both hopefully come away with wins.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously when we talk about the Ultimate Fighter, it's got such a deep history and rich history. When Dana White does his If You Don't Know Now You Know video every week, there's so much blue on the board now with Dana White Contender Series and a lot less red for tough. How much weight do you think winning the Ultimate Fighter holds in this modern day?
I think the show kind of hasn't been as big as it used to be, but I think it's still bringing a lot of great talent, and I think winning the show is huge. This whole tournament style, process of the show is still a big feat. It's a big thing to do. I think winning it is huge because you're on the TV show for 12 weeks and it kind of builds you up and promotes you just by being who you are. You don't necessarily have to create some sort of character and things along those lines that seem to be popular nowadays. And it just kind of, you can just be yourself and go and do what you need to do, and it's cool.
I love it. Obviously, the first time we spoke, we talked about the fact that during your initial UFC run, you'd alternated wins and losses, and we talked about how you were looking to get that consistency. Now, obviously, coming out of the UFC and going on the Ultimate Fighter, what are the key lessons that show and that process has taught you, so that you can now, once you win this finale, you can have a more consistent in the UFC?
So every fight is a growing block, and you can use it to grow, I guess I should say. And having to fight people that you become good friends with and things like that, it just helps you mentally do the things you need to do. You grow. I obviously caught some criticism for my semifinal fight, which I do think that was a good technical fight. I think there's factors that whatever it is. It is what it is. But
it is.
You can use that criticism to grow, and here I am kind of in the same situation again, facing a teammate again and a friend, and it's a good learning lesson to have and prepare you for the next one. So I took that criticism in, and I'm going to grow off of it and use it as fuel. So yeah.
Last one question from me. Obviously, the winners of prime importance and winning this tournament would be massive for you. Other than that, and kind of extending past that, what are you looking to get out of Saturday night? Past the win, what is the key thing you're looking to accomplish?
Well, with the win, obviously, comes the new contract, the money with the new contract. I've had a pretty difficult last 2 years, pretty much, and it's just the turnaround and that I needed to get me back on track. Not just mentally, but money-wise and all those sorts of things, and it just means a lot. I felt like my brother who passed away is a big reason why I got this opportunity. Somehow he just made it happen for me, and winning this show is all right, I'm gonna finish this off strong for him and make it worth it. You know what I mean? And then just the time of being away and all those sorts of things from my family, and I just want to make it all worth it and make everyone proud, and I just want to win this real bad.
Yeah, no, 100%, and my condolences to the passing of your brother. Thank you so much for the time. I wish you the best of luck for Saturday night, and once again, thank you for giving me some of your time so close to fight night.